Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Welcome
Jessy,
back. I want my
Doc, World
baby
Traveler,
back ribs.
back, baby, back. I want my baby back. I can't say it that fast.
And we are
Um,
back.
and Doc, World Traveler, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome. Loved it.
That's great. You had a good time.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
pictures were amazing.
It was awesome. Couldn't I wouldn't be able to say anything negative of Italy, Greece, or Turkey.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you guys had a good time.
me
Yeah.
too.
We were thinking about you and all the fun you were having while we were still here working.
You were definitely
Sick.
missed.
Did you guys get sick? Did you pick up an illness over there?
I did. We were there 4 days, and I got a respiratory something, and it has been sticking with me for this whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as I find time, I will. And I shouldn't even say this because I preach against this all the time. I'll find time to take care of myself. So, yeah.
Right. Well, we've all
We
been
ever
sick
really
here
do.
too. The whole world is ill again. My friend was on an Alaskan cruise and he got COVID. So it's
Yeah.
just that's just what happens, you
Yeah.
know.
A lot
I
of
got
people in a little place.
Yeah, I got sick like on the 7th, and I've been sick ever since. So it's like, come on, man. Jessy,
Yeah.
you've been fighting it.
I got sick. Yep.
So we're all fighting it. Anyway,
Still tired.
Tonight. Are
Yeah.
you?
Little.
I didn't get tested for COVID because what's the point? You know? So
Me
I was
too.
home that week anyway when I had a fever. I was still on vacation. So I'm like, what's the point?
What's the point?
What's
the point
I was
anymore?
home. I didn't go anywhere. We're talking tonight about the history and the hauntings and the legends and the spooky weirdness and the creepy history of Kansas City, Missouri, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
like Kansas City because this started out, it was really old west, wild west, cattle drives. Like that's where all the cattle would be pushed, right?
And the hot Earps.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There.
Ooh, yeah. The Earp
Y'all like
boys.
that cowboy kind of thing.
So Jessy, what do you have on the history of it? And then Doc's got some really
Oh
interesting
yeah. So
stuff.
it's crazy to think with Kate and the locals there, they call it KC, or Kansas City. But you got to think about when you think of Kansas City, you think of like jazzing horns, sizzling grills, hence the baby back rib name. And we also think about KC, Kansas City football, right? The Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Kelsey Swift. Anyway. You can't get away without thinking about the Kelsey Swift couple. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
so yeah, we're going to talk about, we're basically Kansas City. Oh my gosh, where could I start? There's a lot. So this is where Missouri and the Kansas City River meets. We will talk about the geographic area here. It's prime real estate for centuries. I mean, we're talking way back in the day. The Osage and the Conswa and the native nations lived there, traded, and traveled here long before the settlers showed up in Kansas City. Then in the 1820s and 30s, the French fur traders came rolling in, looking for pelts like beaver pelts, weasel pelts, I believe. Just a lot of beaver was like the prime pelt that was exchanged back in those days. And they were like, just kind of ruled in there, and they're like, hey, this is a pretty cool spot. Let's set up camp. Why not? And then John McCoy opens up a Westport landing there in KC, and it's a little trading post that becomes the seed of Kansas City. So yeah, Westport, we talk about the Westport, and it's nearby Independence. This turned into like a major starting point for pioneers heading into the West. Think of it as the 19th century version of the Buc-ee's gas station. And if nobody knows what a Buc-ee's gas station, please look it up. This has everything you can think of.
A Buc-ee's?
It's amazing.
Is that like a
Buc-ee's.
Wawa?
I think, yeah, I've never been there.
It's kind of
I
like a
looked for
Bass
one.
Pro Shop with gas.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'd love
and
that.
restaurants and food.
Snacks,
they're going to get one in
supplies.
Boise too.
Maybe a mule or two.
Oh my
It
God.
just depends, you know, what they got going on there.
I'd be in heaven.
It's like to me, it reminds me of our what is it? Our Big Mac or truck stops, I guess, that we have here that has everything. I don't know.
That is so cool. So that reminds me of Smith and Edwards down in Ogden. Shout out to them.
I haven't been there for so long.
Oh my God. Like you can go in there and buy underwear, socks, gardening supplies, guns, fishing stuff, great, amazing stuff for your kitchen. They have an Army Navy store. They have like everything there, horse tack, you name it, they've got it. And a great candy.
And you could buy pictures for your tents. Just saying. They have pictures.
It's amazing. It's the most amazing place.
I think it is too. It's I haven't been down there for so many years. It's like, man.
I've never
they
been
have the
down
Charleston
there.
shoes.
What?
No.
Doc, Jessy, we got to go do a road trip because Smith and Edwards is the bomb.
I agree.
You can get a military Jeep and a spatula and seasonings and pickling spice and a new 380 and it just keeps going.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be ready.
For everything.
World, go to Smith and Edwards, man. They got it. Just saying. Cool. Shout out. This is not, they're not paying me for this piece.
They have everything. It's almost like the Army surplus store on steroids. Seriously.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Okay.
So
sorry.
We're going to talk about the 1840s. We're going to kind of go ahead and start going forward. And by the 1840s, thousands of wagons are heading out west on the Santa Fe, the Oregon, and the California trails. KC becomes the ultimate launch pad. So it's kind of like the middle stop for everything, you know. And if you really look at KC and the map, you could see all the major highways that were built by the settlers, as well as the railroad. You know, but then there was drama, the Civil War that hit too. Missouri is, unfortunately, and was a slave state. Kansas is free, and Kansas City is caught right in the middle of the bleeding Kansas. Was like guerrilla raids, border wars, and full chaos during this time. So yeah, it was a crazy. And then comes the big showdown. This is like the Battle of the Westport in 1864. Picture 30,000 soldiers clashing right in what is now Luce Park in KC. If nobody's been there, I don't know if Colleen can find a picture of Luce Park, but I believe it's right in the middle.
It's
Luce Park.
Luce? How do you spell it?
Luce, like loose, Soose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every which way but loose. Park.
Okay. There is a great picture. I will show it here. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. This is when the Union wins, and KC's future as a growing city was basically locked in during this time. So Luce Park today is like kids feeding ducks, you know, and they also have had like reenactments of cannon. Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
It almost kind of reminds me of Washington, D.C. mall, the mall park, kind of in some areas, or Arlington. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah,
that's
it's really, but yeah, 30,000, you know, troops were on that ground, you know, fighting for what they believed in.
I wonder what activity they have there at night.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure there's still sounds of, you know, cannons and the fighting, and yeah, it's crazy. And then after the war, Kansas City takes off. In 1869, the Hannibal Bridge opens. Oh yeah, see that? Isn't that crazy? You know, that kind of reminds me of a crop circle.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's
or
pretty.
an alien launch pad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm just saying, that's what it looks like. Land here.
where-
We have ribs.
You were just talking about another area. Where is it?
The Hannibal Bridge.
There you go.
Hannibal Bridge. Okay.
And then it opens. This was the first railroad bridge across the Missouri River. This was obviously a game changer for for it to come make. And so by the late 1800s, KC is the second largest meat packing city. And this is where we run into where the main trail from the Chisholm, is it the Chisholm Trail from Texas?
Chisholm.
All the way up to Kansas City. And this is where we're going to get a lot of the cowboys that are, cattle wrestling. They would steal other people's cattle and they would sell it to the meat market up there. Every time I think about this, I think of Rawhide with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, right.
What was my favorite movie that I watched with my dad? So that was like something? The most, and his son looks just like him. Ugh. Anyway.
Was there a movie called Paint Your Wagon?
Yeah,
like it was musical.
Meals for Sister Sarah, Paint Your Wagon.
Okay, yeah.
Again, Every Which Way But Loose. I'm sure there's a fistful of dollars.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Hence what we did on Sunday with my father.
Oh.
So then, suddenly you got like a cattle stockyard, meat packing plants, warehouses. Obviously, it's booming. And then by the late 1800s, it also, we're going to talk about some famous gunslinger. At the time, he was not a gunslinger. He actually was on the other side of the law, Mr. White Earp. He makes his presence known in Kansas City. He was actually he was a buffalo hunter. He also he did some stealing at one time. And then he decided that he wanted to bring law and order and turn his life around. And he became one of the sheriffs of Kansas City. So that was pretty interesting. It was a very short stint. And then he basically went down to Arizona, where we know him for his famous OK Corral. Scene. Yeah. Fun fact, by 1910, KC had more boulevards than Paris and more fountains than Rome. That's why it's called today the City of Fountains. Fancy, huh?
Yeah. I like that.
It's pretty fancy. Yeah. Then we talk about some of KC. We all know barbecue, obviously, jazz, barbecue, and Boss Tom. Early 1900 Kansas City is a whole vibe of jazz. I love jazz. I listen to some jazz. I listen to New Orleans kind of jazz too.
Dixieland jazz. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, I just love it. It exploded in 18th. Clubs like the Blue Room are cranking all night long, obviously. Count Basie and Charlie Parker, they were rewriting music history. If nobody knows who those guys are, they are the most famous jazz players.
Yep.
So awesome music. And this is when barbecue becomes a thing. Henry Perry, he was the father of the KC barbecue. And he starts selling his smoked meats in the 1920s. Arthur Bryant and others take it to legendary status.
Nice.
You guys, you go down to KC, make sure you try some of that barbecue because it is worth it. I must be hungry.
If not, we're getting there really fast.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, but it wasn't obviously all milk and or milk. Yeah, it was probably milk too. But music and meat. Enter Tom Pendergast, and he was a political boss, a kingmaker, and he was also a very shady dude. He'd done some shady dealings. He controlled elections. He poured money into the construction projects and kept KC open during the Prohibition. While the rest of the country was dry, KC was swinging with some clubs, booze, and jazz, obviously. So there's a whole different energy to KC when I was looking into a lot of stuff. Kansas City basically was Vegas before Vegas was Vegas. And yeah, you just launching this Henry Truman into his politics too. I found that pretty interesting. So we talk about the mid century, 20th century obviously keeps growing. Union Station was buzzing. There was a country club plaza that became the first shopping center designed for cars and Henry Truman. Weird, right? He became president of the United States. I just love KC, and someday I'm going to go because there is so much history. You can't even cover it all. And obviously, we have also the Kansas City Chiefs. They started in 1970 in the Super Bowl. And then, they began to break a lot of records. What are they, the 5-time champion? 4 or 5-time champions of the Super Bowl? That's because of his...
I was a 49
I should say.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was pretty interesting. There's a lot of mixed old buildings still down there in KC. Just upbeat, a good place. Everybody likes it. There's always going to be that crime, but, it's actually a pretty decent town if you're looking for somewhere fun. So
that's awesome.
That's KC all in a little group. I'm sure there's more, but
since you mentioned crime, some of the research that I did
yes, I mentioned
is
crime.
about the organized crime and political corruption, and funny how you had mentioned the boss Tom Pendergrass, which was number 1 on the list, but they also mentioned the Black Hand. It's at the turn of the 20th century. It was an extortion racket called the Black Hand, where they were use intimidation in their, not to be derogative towards anybody, but the Italian American targets. Yeah. And then they also there's a myth that they buried their enemies, which suggested that Pendergrass himself would bury, and it wasn't a figure of speech. He actually buried them under concrete in a bush creek, his political enemies. So
I almost said concrete before you said concrete.
Yeah.
So this is the mob? Is this the...
This is Pendergrass, the Tom Pendergrass.
But was he like... No, this was against Italians. So this was against the mob.
That was part of it. It was against the mob. I would say, and it also said against his political enemies.
Yeah.
His political enemies would end up under concrete in this creek. So I guess it's easier to win elections when you can't find anybody to run against.
Who's the mobster who we don't know where his body is?
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who knows? He may be there himself.
Yeah.
One of my favorite mysteries.
Westport Covered Wagon was marked the Old Westport Shopping Center in 1963, was recently removed. It's urban legend. It was much older than anyone imagined. But they display it in a historical museum. It doesn't really explain what they were selling there, just the covered wagons, apparently, in 1963. It doesn't make sense, but yeah. I don't think they would need them back in 1963, but...
That doesn't make sense.
Maybe they were going back in time. They're like, here.
Yeah. There is, let's see, there is a historical legend that Jesse James faked his death in Kansas City. And they ended up, I guess, finding his body with DNA results in the year 2000, but they found it in Missouri.
So do you think Jesse James faked his death? Is it like Billy the Kid?
It's kind of like that, but they actually confirmed by DNA evidence that he is actually buried in Kearney, Missouri, not in Kansas City. So if he faked his death in Kansas City and they find his body in Missouri, it kind of makes sense there.
Coincidence?
I want to show you guys a picture that I just took in my house because you guys are talking about Wyatt Earp and Jesse James, and this is really weird. Okay, this is weird. I'm going to show it to you, and you guys are going to go, "What?" Okay, let's see. Where is it? It's a shadow. Oh, come on. Where is it? Here we go. You tell me. Who does that look like? Do you see the eyes?
That looks like
mustache?
one of the Earp.
One of the Earp brothers, doesn't it?
Yeah. Maybe
Right
it's
there.
Morgan. That's what it looks like. Is Morgan.
Crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
I'm like, no kidding. No, you guys are talking, so I had to snap that picture. Now it doesn't look like that at all. Like the shadow, the sun has moved on that curtain. But I'm just saying, that's wild. Okay.
That's super weird.
Okay. Super weird. Okay, sorry.
I think it's awesome.
And then some intriguing tidbits that I came across. It's goats versus rabbits. In early Kansas City history, there was a rivalry that existed between those who lived near Missouri River. They called them the rabbits. And those who lived on the bluffs, and those were called the goats. So they called them the goats versus the rabbits.
I'm really seriously thinking it was these goats and rabbits, and they were fighting. I mean, we have fainting goats, we have yoga goats. I don't know what they do for rabbits, but.
And then at one point, Kansas City was almost named Possum Trot or Rabbitville. After popular barbecue dishes, which I'm very glad they didn't. I could imagine what their football team would have been called, the Possums or the Rabbits, or but either way.
Or the goats.
Right?
I'm surprised they didn't do barbecue or something like that,
Yeah. That's hilarious.
The saxophones.
The Jazzies.
Hey, there you go. That one's pretty,
That would have been good. And then, Colleen, I believe that you have the haunted portion of Kansas City.
Full of it. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted because I've been coughing. I found a bunch of hauntings. I narrowed it down to 10 because there's so many. Wow. I mean, I could literally go on for an hour or more. But the first place we're going to talk about, and I always struggle to do this while I'm talking, is the Hotel Savoy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure I've got it. I have them in order, but somehow StreamYard doesn't want to put them in order. So I think this is it. This, isn't that a beauty?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That looks like Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah, it does, huh? It's very similar because that would be on the street. The rail yard would be right back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't that? Whoa. Only Yellowstone is only, what, 3 floors or 4? Maybe.
I thought it was 4, 5.
Maybe 4. 5. Is it 5? I'd have to look it up. We're talking about the Yellowstone Hotel in Pocatello, but this is it's now called the Museum Hotel. It was former Hotel Savoy, and it's located on 9th Street in Kansas City. And room 505 is infamous for its ghostly music. Faucets turn on and off on their own, and the spirit of a lady named Betsy Ward. Now, she was a Victorian girl, and there's also a shadowy man who roams the halls. Yeah,
Why
I
does it
love
always
that.
have to be a Victorian woman? I mean,
You know, I don't know, because this wasn't built in Victorian times. Well, maybe it was.
Yeah.
I don't know when it
I
was
don't know.
built. Yeah, I don't know.
They were definitely
it's
sad
really
back then.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt, but why can't it be like a ghost from the 80s with neon clothes and,
I know,
and
right?
tight hair
Long hair,
and talking about, oh my God, and gag me with the
a
spoon?
valley
It always
girl.
has to be the Victorian era.
Okay, well, I'm just saying I will do that. I will hunt people like an 80-year-old. I'll be wearing my, my electric youth blue or whatever, Malibu.
Oh, Lord.
That's pretty funny right there. I don't care who you are. Okay, so the second one is this is the John Wernell house. Now why did it do this? It got them all. This says the Epperson house. I had them all in order.
I believe you.
Yeah,
It's Monday.
Church. The Epperson. I think this is the Epperson house right here. So let me share this one. I had them all in order, and now it's like they're not in order. So why? This should be the Epperson house.
Oh,
Pretty big place. It's a kind of a wedding venue now. Really historic. It's beautiful. And this is
things at the front.
no, I'm sorry. I said Epperson. This is the John Wernell house. And this is Civil War soldiers are seen. You talked about the Civil War, Jessy.
Mhm.
Pipe tobacco smells, or people smell it all over the place. A woman is seen by the fireplace inside. I don't know which fireplace because there's a bunch. And the neighbors report vanishing spirits. And apparently some of the neighbors are kind of freaked out about it, and they kind of take protective measures to protect their own property against the hauntings on this place.
Where they put like ghost detectors around their property.
I don't know what that means exactly, but it's kind of funny because I mean, there's things that you can do, and you know this, Jessy, to protect your property and dock, right? There are certain things like I've protected the four corners of my property and but that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So hopefully here's the Epperson house. The Epperson house, it just is a beautiful place. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
They really knew how to build things back then, you know? I mean,
so much that nobody wanted to leave.
I know, right? I know. So the Epperson house is on Cherry Street, and people hear an organ playing in the house. There's footsteps heard all over the place. The ghost of a lady named Harriet Barse is seen in the house. And she was the adopted daughter of the Eppersons. So she is seen wandering the house to this day.
It's probably her happy life, you know?
I know.
She's probably
Think of living in this house. I mean, if you lived in this house in that era, you were so well off, you didn't want for anything.
No. Just arm deodorant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me find. You're so wrong. Okay.
That's so funny.
I was just thinking of like reading about stuff like what they used to wear back in the day. There was no such thing as arm deodorant.
No. Yeah, they were kind of stinky.
Yeah. Do you ever just think about going back in time and think like something that you could have invented and go back in time and say, like the sticky stuff on the Post-it notes?
Would you want to be known for
fortune.
The inventor of deodorant?
I would.
Would you change the name? Not so stinky?
Deodorizer? That's what it's based off of, right?
Smell better?
I'd call it Soissé.
Soissé. Okay, so I'm gonna all my tabs got in a weird, I don't know what happened. I had them all organized and now they went away. So I have to redo this. So this next one, and I always have to talk through it because, This next one is the old Oddfellows Hall, and it's
Oh.
now a winery and inn. It's called the Belvoir Winery and Inn, and a lot of ghost children are seen here. I don't know if maybe it was an orphanage at one time. There's a lot
kinda
of
weird.
ghostly children. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A singing woman, shadow figures, a piano that plays by itself. And it was investigated by the Dude and Bro Show.
In Bro
So-
Show.
Yeah, dude, bro.
Dude. Bro.
Yeah. Anyway, that one looks really cool. I'd kind of like to go through that one. It looks really neat.
Oh, and drink some wine while in there. Did they ever find like a Oddfellow skeleton? I find that that's a lot when they are investigating a place that, especially with Oddfellows, like they leave an Oddfellow behind.
An odd fellow here and there, tucked in under the stairs, under the floorboards.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the
Didn't they
piano.
have one?
The damn piano
They just-
won't play. The tuner comes out. There's the odd
Yeah.
fellow.
Under the cement.
Okay. Okay, here's the next one. This one's cool. St. Mary's Episcopal Church. And this
Ugh.
one is located on Holmes Street. And the ghost of Father Jardine, who died under mysterious circumstances. He may be, in the cement city.
He drank the wrong wine.
Yeah, it was the wrong one.
Wrong communion wine.
That's it right there. Yep.
Possibility.
So he died under mysterious circumstances. Apparently, he's buried here at the church, and EMF detectors spike whenever you're around where he's buried there. I don't know if he's like entombed inside the church. It's kind of weird to me. It didn't seem like a really big parcel when you looked at it on a map. So I don't know. Anyway, apparently there's a lot of hauntings of this man in there. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of interesting that so many, like you're right, Doc. We never have a 1980s ghost.
You know, it's kind of odd. It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the 1970s ghost?
Well, I don't know. I think the one that's inside my house is a 70s era. Has to be.
Yeah.
He's wearing a plaid. Looks like 1970s. He's got longer hair. Smells of cigarettes. It was
Oh, wow.
very common during that time.
Be like JT.
Hey. This next one is the Elms Hotel and Spa. I want to go
Ooh,
here.
That is
Doesn't
nice.
that look nice?
Oh
That
yeah.
looks
It's-
fancy.
Regent Street and ghosts of coal shovelers from a 1910 fire are seen in here. The ghost of a panicked woman searching for her child. And there are
Yeah.
mysterious calls from empty rooms down to the counter. Yeah.
I've experienced that myself.
You have. You've told me about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, somebody's left the room open.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
Oh, that looks
so
really fancy. Like
it
super
does,
fancy.
doesn't it? This place is let me open this in a new tab. This one to me is just, I love this style. Okay. This is the Alexander Major's house.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty? It is
That's
now, I
almost
believe,
like what do they call those type of houses?
Plantation home.
plantation in a sense. Yeah, but it's kind of a federal style because the columns aren't
Yeah.
out in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colonial, a little
There
bit
you go.
that colonial style. And it's located on State Line Road, and it's Civil War spirits are seen wandering around the house and the grounds. And the ghost of Louisa Johnston, who was a former caretaker, she's seen there. I love the name Louisa.
Yeah.
There's eerie voices that are heard and a lot of cold spots in and around the house and on the property. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go to all of these places. Like we need a road trip permanently and just go. I
I'm down.
know, right?
We can become
Okay.
folk singers.
Okay. This looks a little bit like the building that we looked at originally. This building here is called the Coates Hotel. It's now an apartment building. Doesn't it look similar to the other one? But it has this.
It looks
It has
exactly
this
like
big turret thing or whatever you call that.
It's
on
got to
top.
be
I don't know
across
what
the
that is.
street.
Yeah, right. This one is on Broadway Boulevard, and it's now an apartment building, but a lot of shadowy figures are seen here. And then for whatever weird, people report that their appliances growl at them. Does that sound like
that sounds like Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters? Yeah, like their appliances
What is it?
growling.
Slimer or something?
Yeah, there was a deadly fire here in 1978. I'm not sure how many people perished in it, but quite a few. And so a lot of those hauntings could be tied to that.
Yeah.
But appliances
There's your
growling at them?
1980s ghost.
See? There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I am pulling up another one. Okay, this is the Kansas City. Boy, this is a big one. Okay. It's so hard to walk and talk at the same time. Okay, here we go. This is the Kansas City Power and Light Building. It's a big one.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, that's a big building right there. Okay.
you know, and it almost looks like the Empire State Building, like a really very short version.
A tiny little version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is on West 14th Street. Shadowy figures are seen jumping from the roof, only to vanish before they hit the ground.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that? That would just be.
I'd be like, how many 911 calls they get a day?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like that's.
Probably echoes of people who have jumped.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's terrifying. Okay, and then the last one is this is kind of an interesting looking house. It's called the Strawberry Hill, and I don't know, whoever the designer was who did the addition should be no. Look at that addition.
Oh,
isn't that just awful?
Oh, yeah.
You take this beautiful home and then you put this monstrous addition on it. But anyway,
is he the one haunting it?
Is that a church?
He ought to be. He ought to be. The Strawberry Hill Museum, and this is on North 4th Street. And there's a woman in red who's seen asking and heard asking, "Where is the house of the priest?" And then she disappears, like over and over and over again.
Oh.
I have no idea the story behind that.
It's probably because her house looks haunted and she needed help to
looks
exercise
terrible
it or something. Because
and that's interesting that you say that, because when I'm looking at the back of this, it doesn't look like a museum. It looks like a church to me.
I know,
like a
doesn't
Baptist
it?
Church.
Exactly. It is really very weird. I'm trying to.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that to this beautiful place? I understand making an addition, but you keep it architecturally appropriate for the building you're adding on to. Yeah.
I'm trying to read the sign.
The sign out front says, let me get to it.
Pray for the designer.
Strawberry Hill Museum and Cultural Center. And then there's the historical plaque. And then there are the hours that it's open. It's just a mishmash of, beauty and ugly. I don't
know. I feel like it's gives me kind of like a church vibe.
Well, look, there is a cross on top.
There is a cross on top.
That's
and the windows look like they're stained glass.
Over here. Yeah. They are. It is odd, isn't it? Maybe it was a church for a while. Maybe they did
or it's where the priest was living at the time.
Oh yeah. Huh?
That could be why she was looking for him.
Yeah.
He ran away from that monstrosity. He couldn't look.
He ran away.
There's like Coke bottle windows right here, like you'd see in an old bar. Then there's. God, it's
I know what
just-
it is.
doesn't
Maybe
that
it was
look-
going to be an
doesn't that look
Oddfellas
like-
thing.
Doesn't that look like a hat and eyes and a gaping mouth right there?
Yes, like Monster
Yeah.
House.
Oh.
Monster House.
The more I look at this, the more creepy it gets.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Anyway, that's it for the hauntings that there was quite a few. That was 10. And literally there were probably 100.
Yeah.
So
Well, with the city as
Yeah.
old as Kansas City and as much history as it has, you couldn't expect anything less.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
still
that's it,
want to know
guys.
what they thought about that building. Why?
Why the addition like that? It was so I have to go out towards I have to go to Soda Springs a lot for work, right? And there's a house. Oh, it's before you get to Lava Hot Springs, and it would be on the north side of the highway, outside of McCammon, not far out of McCammon, and it is the ugliest home I have ever seen. So it is so bad. It's like they took an A-frame and then put a square behind it.
Wow.
And it looks like it's missing, like it's just been cut in half, like something's gone, something's missing with this place. And it also
you're
has a
saying that
really
a
eerie
child
vibe.
designed this.
Somebody with no architectural experience whatsoever. It is so
they used to
horrible.
drink a lot of whiskey back then.
Maybe so. I mean, I'd rather live in a Quonset hut or a barn than that house. It's that
Wow.
bad. It is, and it has a bad feel. It has a really bad feel too. When you drive by, you're like, ooh, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe there's something with the structure that brings that vibe because
yeah, sometimes I think structures and the way they're built and the additions can really change the way you feel about something.
Absolutely.
And then if you're harboring those feelings, then it brings that activity. It's just not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah. I was going to tell you guys, I also was reading, I don't know if part of the hauntings that you were reading about, they were talking about how like the cattle drives and everything, people will hear like old cattle drives going through the city. Like the place where a cow or herd of cows should be, and you hear them coming through. I'm sorry. I've camped up, in the neck of the woods above Pocatello, and I am frightened to hear a bull cow mooing.
Or a mad mama.
I don't care. Boy. I remember I ran to the car and I locked the doors. That's how frightened I was. And everybody's like, it's just a cow.
No.
You don't understand.
They get mean.
No, my bull got out while we were out of country, and
oh no.
Yeah, he was not a happy camper. Luckily, he went to the neighbor's area where he had a bunch of cows, and he released a lot of his frustration. So it was easier to get him back in, but yeah, if he wouldn't have done that.
Your neighbors are going to have calves next year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, he got a hold of a couple of my cows.
Naughty boy.
I told him, don't worry, I won't charge you for it. And he gave me a dirty look.
So the Pony Express started in Kansas City, Missouri, didn't it? Didn't it? The Pony Express only ran for like 2 or 3 years, but I think it started in Kansas City, Missouri, and it went all the way to Sacramento, and it came right through my little town.
Oh, wow.
Where I grew up. Yeah, in the Sierra Nevada. So it just, the Pony Express we still have on our freeway now, but it's called Pony Express Trail. We still have Pony Express markers, like mile 13 or mile 27 or mile whatever it is.
Those were the still run it as kind of like a historical thing? Don't they still run it? Because I believe
they don't do the whole leg.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
No, because of the freeways and everything in the way now.
Oh, understood.
We do a wagon train parade. It's called a wagon train parade every year at home, and It comes up from Lake Tahoe and it goes down into Placerville, California. So they do that leg of it through the Pony Express Trail through that whole area. But yeah, I don't think you could, if you wanted to, do the run anymore. There's just no way to do it.
No.
Yeah. People are like, what are you doing? That's why we have vehicles.
Yeah, right. They were amazing. The speed that they could deliver was really incredible. But yeah, you'd think in history we're taught the Pony Express and you think it just went on for like decades, but it was only, I think, a couple of years. Wow. But then the trains took over.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Trains. They always take over my side of the street every morning at 7:55.
Or on the way to work.
They look at me in my eye and they're like, I know.
I'd be knowing. I'd be knowing.
Right? Well, that's it for Kansas City, guys. And Doc is disappearing as we talk.
Oh, I'm back.
He's thinking about those baby back ribs.
Yeah, he is.
He's gonna go get some barbecue.
Baby back ribs. All right, guys. Thank you, and we'll be with you next week for another history lesson.
Yeah.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.
Bye, everyone.